Martell Holt's life has been one long public storm, but this time, the lightning didn't come from his ex-wife or his castmates. It came from the one person who's always stood by him, no matter what: his mother, Martell Holt. For years, fans have watched her defend him through every scandal, every heartbreak, and every headline. But now, something has changed. Martelle's tone isn't the same soft support anymore, it's fear. Real, heavy, motherly fear. She's no longer shielding her son from the truth. She's watching him sink deeper into a world that's breaking him down, and it's breaking her heart to see it. When a mother finally admits she's scared of the woman her son is with, it hits different. It's not gossip. It's not shade. It's the voice of someone who's seen the pain up close and can't unsee it anymore. Fans are saying Martelle's quiet confession about Arionne Curry is more powerful than any rant or interview Martell has ever given. Because for the first time, it's not about reality TV. It's about a mother trying to save her son from himself and from the chaos that's consuming his life. But to really understand why Martelle's words cut so deep, you have to look back at everything that led here. Long before the cameras and fame, Martell Holt was just a young man from Huntsville with dreams bigger than his hometown. He was charming, ambitious, and smart. When he met Melody Shari, it looked like a match made in heaven. Together they built a family, a business, and a brand that became the heart of love and marriage, Huntsville. For a while, it seemed perfect. They were the couple everyone admired: beautiful, successful, and unstoppable. But behind that picture-perfect image was a secret that would eventually blow everything apart. Martell had been living a double life. While Melody was holding down their home and raising their children, he was deep in an affair with Arionne Curry, a woman he'd been seeing for years. At first, Martell refused to believe it. To her, Martell was still her baby boy, the man who could do no wrong. Like any mother, she tried to see the good in him, even when everyone else couldn't. She defended him in interviews, comforted him when things fell apart, and tried to keep the peace between Melody and her son, even when it was clear that peace was impossible. But when the affair came to light and the world learned that Martell had fathered a child with Arionne, everything changed. Martelle's world started to crumble. The family she once knew was now divided, and the son she raised with love and hope was now being dragged through scandal after scandal. Still, she stood by him, believing maybe he'd grow up, maybe he'd fix it. But the more she watched, the more she realized that the woman at the center of it all, Arionne, wasn't just part of Martell's downfall. She had become the storm itself. Now, years later, Martell is finally speaking from a place she's avoided for a long time: honesty. Sources close to the family say she's opened up about her deep fears regarding Arionne, not out of hate, but out of heartbreak. Martell reportedly said she's scared for Martell not just because of how toxic things have become, but because she sees him losing himself. She's watched him go from a confident man with goals to someone constantly surrounded by chaos, online drama, and endless fights. And she knows that a big part of that comes from his connection with Arionne. What scares Martell most isn't just the relationship itself, but the hold Arionne seems to have on her son. She's seen Martell's pattern, how he keeps going back, no matter how many times things fall apart. It's like he's trapped in a cycle that he can't break free from. And for a mother, that kind of helplessness is the worst kind of pain. Martelle's fear runs deeper than what fans see online. People close to her say she worries that Martell doesn't even realize how much damage this relationship has done to his reputation, his peace, and his family. She said quietly that she wishes he could see what everyone else sees, that the connection he keeps fighting for is the same one that's slowly destroying him. And what's even more heartbreaking is that she once tried to welcome Arionne. In the beginning, Martell reportedly believed maybe things could be peaceful, maybe they could all find some kind of understanding for the sake of the child involved. But that dream quickly faded. She saw the arguments, the jealousy, and the public drama that came with it. The social media rants, the shade toward Melody, the endless back and forth. To Martell, it was like reliving the same nightmare over and over again, only this time, it wasn't just breaking up a marriage, it was breaking up a family legacy. But here's the twist: Martell isn't just worried about her son's relationship. She's worried about his soul. In recent conversations, she's been open about how she barely recognizes Martell anymore. The calm, focused young man she raised has turned into someone constantly chasing validation from fame, from followers, from people who don't truly care about him. And deep down, she believes that Arionne's presence has played a major role in that transformation. To Marlene, Arionne represents everything that's keeping Martell stuck. Every time he tries to rebuild his image or focus on his children, something happens: a new argument, a new headline, a new emotional explosion. And it always seems to trace back to that same connection. What nobody expected was how raw Marlene's words would sound when she finally broke her silence. She didn't attack Arionne directly. She didn't use harsh words or anger. Instead, her voice carried a kind of sadness that only comes from someone who's been holding back tears for too long. She said she just wants peace for her son, peace he'll never find if he keeps living in chaos. She's scared that Martell doesn't understand what's at stake anymore, that he's losing not only his career, but his sense of who he is. Watching your child spiral while pretending everything is fine for cameras is something no mother should ever have to endure. Marlene's quiet words have become louder than any drama on the show. Fans are calling it the moment of truth, the instant where the illusion shattered. It's no longer about Melody versus Martell, or castmates picking sides. It's about a mother who's finally saying out loud what everyone's been whispering for years, that this relationship isn't love. It's control, confusion, and pain wrapped up in denial. And the more Martell tries to convince the world he's okay, the clearer it becomes that he isn't. For Martell, this revelation has shaken his image to the core. He's always been confident, sometimes too confident, in his ability to spin a story or shift the blame. But when your own mother expresses fear about the person in your life, it's not something you can dismiss as haters talking. It hits a part of your spirit that you can't hide from. Sources say Marlene has even pulled away emotionally in recent months. She still loves her son, but she's learning that sometimes love means stepping back and letting someone face the consequences of their choices. It's painful, but she knows she can't fix him. Not this time. What's even more heartbreaking is how the kids are caught in the middle. They're growing up fast, old enough to understand tension even if they can't explain it. Marlene has been doing everything she can to shield them from the fallout, to make sure they still feel stability despite the chaos around them. But deep down, she knows they can sense what's really going on. They see the divide between their parents. They hear the whispers. They feel the weight of it all. And that's what keeps Marlene up at night, not the headlines, not the fans, but the quiet moments when those kids start asking questions that don't have easy answers. Arionne, on the other hand, seems to believe she's been misunderstood. She's spoken in interviews about being labeled unfairly, about being painted as the villain. And while some fans sympathize with her, others see her as the common thread in Martell's downfall. Every time she goes live or posts something emotional, it reignites the storm, and Martell is right in the middle of it again. Marlene's fear isn't about hate. It's about exhaustion. She's tired of watching her son repeat the same mistakes. She's tired of seeing him lose respect, lose peace, and lose focus on what really matters: his children, his growth, and his healing. She's even told friends she misses the version of Martell that used to laugh freely, the one who dreamed about building generational wealth and setting an example for his kids. Now, she says, all she sees is a man chasing chaos and calling it love. And that's where her deepest fear lies, that he'll never escape it. That he's too deep in denial to recognize how much this relationship has taken from him. When Marlene's words reached fans, social media lit up. People didn't attack her, they comforted her. Many said they could feel her pain through her tone. They saw a woman who has watched her son drown in choices she can't undo. Some even compared her calm sorrow to Melody's. Both women, in different ways, have had to carry the emotional weight of Martell's decisions. For once, Marlene isn't being seen as the mother who excuses her son. She's being seen as the mother who finally broke her silence because she couldn't take the heartbreak anymore. She's not trying to embarrass him. She's trying to wake him up. And that's the emotional truth at the center of this story: a mother's love reaching its breaking point. Marlene knows that no amount of talking, pleading, or defending can fix a man who refuses to face himself. She's come to understand that her son's healing has to start with him, not her. But even now, she still hopes. She hopes one day he'll find clarity. She hopes he'll walk away from the pain and remember who he really is, not the reality star, not the man caught in endless drama, but the son she raised to be better than this. Until then, she's keeping her distance, not out of anger, but out of love. Because sometimes, the hardest act of love is letting go. In the end, Martell Holt's quiet confession isn't just a warning to her son, it's a mirror to anyone trapped in toxic cycles. It shows how love, when twisted by control and pride, can destroy everything around it. Martell may still have the cameras, the spotlight, and the show. But none of that matters if the people who truly love him, his mother, his kids, his peace, are slipping away. And that's the part that hurts the most. Because when a mother says she's afraid, it's not about drama anymore. It's about truth. And this time, that truth might be the only thing strong enough to save him if he chooses to listen before it's too late.